Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to episode 3 of the Social Digest, a podcast where we believe you can do anything if you set your mind to it. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, I believe we first need to define what mindset actually is and what it really means. Now, if you look it up in the dictionary or you look it up on Google, the definition says the established set of attitudes held by someone. Now, to me, that definition doesn't really make sense. It's kind of vague. And, it seems like they just use like a bunch of like words that sounded intelligent and then just kind of just put it together. So for me, I'm going to dumb it down for myself so I understand it a little bit better. I feel like the mindset is a set of our feelings. And if you think about it that way, I think it makes a little bit more sense. Because if our mindset is a set of our feelings, like I know, we can change. We're in control of our feelings. So if we're feeling sad, and we want to be happy, we can be happy. Or say, someone steps on our toes and we're crying. Well, once we get the band-aid over it, the neosporin over it, or whatever, now we're happy again. So if we can control our feelings, why can't we control our mindset? Haven't you ever heard the expression, is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? Me personally, I think the glass is half full because glass half empty, I don't know, just kind of sounds a little weird to me, but there's no differentiation between the two. They're literally exactly the same. It's just how you say it. I feel like that's really a mindset analogy. It's basically describing the way we think about ourselves and the world around us. Our mindset affects the way we act, the way we look at life, our attitude towards the world and the people in it. But one thing's for sure, our mindset can change because if mindset is truly our feelings, a set of our feelings, then we can control our mindset. So if you don't like where you are right now in life, that's totally okay. You can change that. In my opinion, there's two types of mindsets. There's open mindsets and then there's closed mindsets. Now, what's the difference? Well, someone with an open mindset is more likely to want to try new things. They're more likely to want to buy a course, to better their knowledge on a subject. Open-minded people are more inclined to own up to their weaknesses and try and change them. But closed-minded people, closed mindset people, they only think about the negative. They only focus on what they can't do. They never ever want to try new things because they feel like, why would I even try it if I'm going to fail at it? Like, why even try it if it's not going to work? But like I said in the beginning of the show, you guys, we can change our mindsets if we want to. We can change our feelings just as easy. We're in control after all. We all have it in us to be great, but we just have to want to be great. Believe that we're great. Because at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to develop an open mindset. And I feel like here are some ways that we can achieve that. Hey, you, yeah, you, the one listening to this podcast right now. I had this one question. It's been burning inside me, and I really just wanted to get it out. I wanted to know, are you enjoying the show so far? If you are, could you please consider sharing this episode with a friend or maybe even a family member, a cousin, a grandma, anyone really? But if you found some value in today's show, please consider subscribing. Okay, enough of that. Now, back to the show. For starters, we need to embrace new challenges, especially if it's something you've never done before. Like, think of it this way, like maybe it's a new task at work. Maybe you've never done it before, but embrace it. Go gung ho at it. Or maybe it's skydiving and while you're out with your friends. Let's embrace that. Let's be the change. Let's live the change. Yeah, it's going to be super scary at times, but scary is good because now you're out of your comfort zone. And if you're out of your comfort zone, your mind has the opportunity to grow. I promise you'll feel a lot better. Even if you fail, it's okay because there's always another chance to do it again. One of the best ways I feel to achieve an open mindset is to accept the fact that nothing is perfect because waiting for the perfect moment, you'll be waiting forever because perfection really doesn't exist. I feel like perfection is an illusion. It's not real. And we should totally stop trying to make perfection our normal. The one thing about perfection is it's the number one dream killer, and it will stop you dead in your tracks. The reason why I say that is because say you want to be a content creator, you see all these YouTubers and they're making all these videos and you want to do that. But when you watch their videos, they're telling you about all the gear that they have, the A7 threes, the Canon 1DX Mark threes, and all these high end red cameras. You're like, man, I need that. And then once I get that, my video production is going to be perfect. But then when you get it, you find out, well, why doesn't mine look like theirs? It's because they took time out to practice. They had open mindsets. They took the time that it took to learn all of the settings to that camera to make sure that everything was going to work how they wanted it, how everything was going to color grade how they wanted it. If you listen to any of my other podcasts, I preach failure. Like, we need to embrace failure because without it, we won't know if we're getting any better. We won't know if we're getting worse. Like, we need to definitely embrace our failures and definitely try to limit our setbacks. Now, setbacks are not failures. Just because you suffer a setback, it doesn't mean you failed. It just means you need to try a different approach. Definitely learn from what didn't work before, and make changes accordingly. To everyone listening right now, if you think you have a closed mindset, it's totally fine. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people with that mindset. It was me a while ago. I had a closed mindset. I didn't want to try new things because I was out of my comfort zone and I hate being out of my comfort zone. I would rather just stay comfortable and do what I know how to do best. I'll give you an example. I started to edit on Premiere Pro. That's what I was comfortable doing. And this DaVinci Resolve actually came out. It's relatively new. I'm not sure when it came out, but when I seen it, I downloaded it because it's free. And I looked at it and it was like a puzzle. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, oh my God, what do I do? So for a while, I just had DaVinci Resolve sitting on my computer and I never touched it because I was like, man, no. Until one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to tackle it. So I tried it. And I'm not going to say I'm a guru or I'm the best at DaVinci Resolve, but there's still a lot I need to learn. But the point is, I tried. And that's all I'm asking. You know, there was there was one guy, he asked me actually. He asked me, "Why do you work for yourself? You should work for a company that gives you medical benefits, 401k. Working for yourself never works. It always ends in failure." So, I responded back. I was like, "Yeah, for some people it does end in failure. And low key, it might end in failure for me too. But what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. So I'll bounce back. I'll come back better prepared for the next go around." That guy, he had a closed mindset. He only wanted the company job because he didn't want to set out and do the work it took to grow an actual business. He wanted to take the easy way out, just like how I wanted to take the easy way out of just working with Premiere Pro and not tackling DaVinci. But after I said what I said to him, I feel like it kind of got through to him. I feel in my heart that he was like, maybe he's right. But I'm not going to sit here and act all high and mighty and act like my spit doesn't stink because it does. I get discouraged sometimes. I even get depressed. But what always gets me through is thinking about the light at the end of the tunnel. Hitting that goal I set out to hit before I started. But even if that fails, I always make sure I talk to someone about how I'm feeling, whether that be a friend or a family member. But if you feel like you have nobody to talk to, not a friend, not a family member, no one, I'm always here. You can follow me on social media at The Social Digest. That's the with two E's, then social, and then digest. Just send me a DM. Let me know who you are and what you're going through. I'll try my best to help you out. And I promise, if I can't help you go through whatever you're going through, I will do my best to find someone that can. So, the takeaway from today's show is that our mindset can shape our future. But at any time you feel less than and inferior, remember, we can change our mindsets. There are our own feelings. We're in control of our feelings. So that way, we're in control of our mindsets. We can change the way we look at life. We can change the way we respond to certain aspects of our life. No, it's not going to be easy. And most definitely, it will make you feel uncomfortable. But remember, that's a good thing. You need to test yourself, you need to test your limits. And you'll see after you test yourself and test your limits, you're going to see who you're truly actually made out of. Like, you're going to see a part of yourself that you're like, wow, that's amazing. I want to personally thank you guys for tuning into this today's episode. And I hope I have inspired some of you to take a chance to just change the way you think. And if I did, I definitely want to hear how. You can leave the answer in the form of a rating, one being not inspired at all, to five being you're ready to take massive action and implement these key principles that you learned here today. But before you go, I want to personally challenge you to take a step out of your comfort zone and hit that subscribe button so you can continue to grow and we can grow together. So until the next episode, you guys, take care and God bless.